All right, so we have oh man, let's just get this started. Dana Bash, whatever her name is remember the interview she just did, obviously with Kamala Harris, which was a very softball interview. And here now she is interviewing Tulsi Gabbard. And in this interview, a few things happen. And this is why I tell you guys, we don't dislike these people enough. The mainstream media doesn't even know half of the things they even talking about. And I'm going to prove that to you in this because shout out to Tulsi Gabbard, by the way, because she's a warrior for this interview right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into this. Make sure to smash that like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from, and welcome to September, new month. Let's go.
A Democrat who debated her in a Democratic primary, and now you are helping the Republican nominee to debate her. And on that, I remember in 2020, you attacked Harris for being too aggressive as a prosecutor, which is the opposite from what Donald Trump is saying about her as weak on crime. So which is it?
What I pointed out in that debate stage in the 2020 campaign.
By the way, which is it? Which is it? This type of question, which is a I gotcha question. There was never this type of energy from CNN, specifically from Dana Bash toward Tim Walz, toward Kamala Harris. So it just lets you know how this interview is already starting out. And oh, gotcha. Look, you and Trump don't agree on this. Let me start off here. But of course, Tulsi Gabbard is a professional at this, so let's go.
Is saying about her as weak on crime. So which is it?
What I pointed out in that debate stage in the 2020 campaign was her hypocrisy. It was how she was saying one thing and doing another, how she was prosecuting people for smoking marijuana and laughing about it when she was asked about it on a radio show. And I think this goes to the heart of many of these different issues that we're seeing now that Kamala Harris is trying to hide from voters, is how she says her position is one thing, but her actions and her record show exactly the opposite. And you can point to that on issues related to the economy, issues related to freedom of speech. She says she stands for freedom of speech. And yet, as we've seen time and time again, her and Joe Biden have taken actions both directly and indirectly to censor free speech. Most recently, I can point to my own experience of this, of how the Harris-Biden administration have added me to a secret domestic terror watch list the very day after Kamala Harris was endorsed by Joe Biden. And I was on TV and warning the American people about what I...
Look at Dana's face. See, I'm so happy Tulsi's doing this on CNN. Thank you, Tulsi. Don't even waste any time. Let the American people know. Let the Democrats who watch this network know what the Biden-Harris administration is doing to you. Because you could tell by Dana's face, she doesn't even know. Maybe she does. Maybe she's acting because all these people are transformers and grifters. But maybe she doesn't know. Or maybe she does. But thank you. Let's go.
Point to my own experience of this, of how the Harris-Biden administration have added me to a secret domestic terror watch list the very day after Kamala Harris was endorsed by Joe Biden. And I was on TV and warning the American people about what I saw as the dangers of a Kamala Harris presidency, taking action that was clearly political retaliation. They've done this to a lot of different people, which points to how dangerous it is to have people in power so willing to abuse that power to go after political opponents.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the secret terror watch list. We're definitely going to follow up on that.
Wow, what I told you. I'm sorry to interrupt this so much, but I get hyped up because of this. She doesn't know about this. Do you know how big that is to be on a terror watch list from the Biden-Harris administration? Every time you fly, the TSA has to stamp. They have to stamp your what is it? Your ticket? They have to stamp it and let everybody know that you're on the watch list. And Dana Bash here acts like she doesn't know about it. So I just wanted to just pause it on that. I won't pause it anymore, but that's huge, man. The fact that she doesn't know about this lets you know exactly that CNN is just like they're just biased and they're clueless, or at least they act like they are. But thank you, Tulsi, for letting everybody know on this network that they have you on a terror watch list.
On this to a lot of different people, which points to how dangerous it is to have people in power so willing to abuse that power to go after political opponents.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the secret terror watch list. We're definitely going to follow up on that. But I do want to move on to what is happening with regard to controversy after the former president visited Arlington National Cemetery this week. His campaign took photos and video of him in Section 60, where veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are buried, used it in a campaign video. The Army also says that Trump staffers abruptly pushed aside a cemetery official who tried to enforce Arlington's rules prohibiting political activities. I know you were with Trump at least earlier in that day at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Did you witness the altercation at Section 60?
I was there from the beginning with the laying of the wreaths, with the family members, the Gold Star family members, and some of the survivors of that terrorist attack in that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. I was with them at Section 60, and what I saw was a very grave and somber remembrance and honoring of those lives that were lost. And I saw President Trump spending time at the invitation of these Gold Star families with them. He was there for a few hours. I did not see or hear about any kind of altercation until something came out in the news later on. The families were there grieving alongside President Trump, and it was a very special moment to really remember their names, remember their memories, and understand the true cost of war and the consequences of the decisions that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden made in the execution of that withdrawal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Tulsi is not falling for this bait. She's not falling for this bait. Wow. Man, I'm so happy she's on Trump's side. I am. I just am. I mean, what they're doing to her is already a disgrace, but she's not falling for this little clickbait about the altercation that a lot of people say happened and a lot of people say didn't happen during this ceremony. But let's continue.
Understand the true cost of war and the consequences of the decisions that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden made in the execution of that withdrawal.
Yeah, and it is very clear that the former president was invited in his personal capacity, as you said, by a family of one of the service members who was killed about 2 years ago during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Tulsi has her nervous and stuttering. She has to read her notes and she's stuttering. Look at this. She has to keep looking down, reading her notes. You know, most of the time, I told you guys, these people, I told you guys, congressmen and women of the United States of America's politicians and even anchors don't even know what the hell they're talking about half of the time. Tulsi Gabbard has to literally help her. Look at this.
As you said, by a family of one of the service members who was killed about 2 years ago during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago to the day on August 26th.
Yes, 3 years ago. The question is about the federal law and Arlington's rules that prohibit partisan or political activities at national cemeteries. And the military.
She's stuttering. She's stuttering. She doesn't even know where she wants to go with this. You could tell she has an earpiece right now, trying to tell her to keep pushing on this federal law that says that you cannot take pictures and the media and you can't post stuff like that. They want to keep pushing on this stupid issue, but Tulsi's not falling for it. She has a stuttering.
Rules that prohibit partisan or political activities at national cemeteries. And the military and also other members of other families who are buried right near there are upset about the campaign filming it and posting the video online. Do you believe that was appropriate?
You know, I checked with the campaign on this question, and They have exchanges with the officials at Arlington Cemetery. They were approved to bring a camera there to document this historic and momentous day that should not be forgotten by any American. And to have a former president there and joining these Gold Star families, I know President Trump wanted to share that with others, especially given the fact that President Biden and Harris, I heard, were invited by some of these family members. They not only didn't come, they didn't even respond to that invitation. And now to have Kamala Harris put this statement out yesterday saying that she stands with these families, she stands with the military and with veterans. You only have to look at the response that came from the Gold Star families of these 13 service members, of how offended they were by that statement, given she has not made any effort, not on that 3rd anniversary or any other time, to call them directly to offer her condolences and even apologies for their decisions that led to the loss of their loved ones.
Do you think?
Oh, that's too good. Oh, she's cooking. Oh, she turned it. I mean, these are redundant questions, right? Like, she's constantly trying to just try. Oh man, I told you guys, we don't dislike these people enough. She's trying to press the issue, trying to get Tulsi Gabbard to say it was wrong, to say Trump was bad, Trump was wrong. And Tulsi's flipping it right back to her. Flip it. Here you go. Hey, you want to know something? Actually, Kamala and President Biden were invited. They didn't go. You know, she's just flipping it right back on her. But here goes Dana Bash again.
On that 3rd anniversary or any other time, to call them directly to offer her condolences and even apologies for their decisions that led to the loss of their loved ones.
Do you think that the campaign will release that communication that you're talking about? Because the Army is saying very clearly that they broke the rules because it was clearly put out online, pictures, video, meant as a part of his campaign.
I thought they already had. I was informed that they had come to an agreement. They could bring a camera there. And as far as I know, and the public statements I've seen from the Army, is that the matter is closed.
I think the matter is closed about the altercation, alleged.
Dana, oh my gosh, she's still going. I can't do it. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. I can't do it with these people. Why can't you have this same energy with Kamala Harris or any other Democrat that comes on your platform? You are still pressing on this issue. You would never have the same energy with the people who let in literally millions of migrants allegedly claiming asylum, breaking the system, breaking remain in Mexico. You literally have the Venezuelan migrants literally taking over apartment complexes, but you don't even, let me, I'll tell you what, I bet my whole entire existence that they don't even know about what's going on in Aurora, Colorado. They have no idea what's going on with the migrants over there. They have no idea what's going on with the migrant robberies, the takeovers that they have in Aurora, Colorado, of the apartment complexes. I bet you they don't even know about that. Because if they knew, maybe they would have pressed her. But then again, these are bad expectations to have of CNN. They would never press any Democrats this way. It's unbelievable.
Alleged altercation, which you didn't see, but I'm not sure it's closed, with the idea that they seem to have broken the rules and perhaps even federal law by putting out the campaign video. I want to ask you about.
I just like to say one last thing on this, because I
Please.
think it's important. And I've seen a lot of the headlines and the stories and the concerns that people are raising about this. But to me, as a soldier and as someone who has been deployed to different war zones in the world, and I have friends who are buried there at Section 60, what is more outrageous to me is that there wasn't universal coverage of the momentous day of the 3rd anniversary of the loss of these 13 Gold Star families, and the outrage that they feel that their loved ones are not getting the kind of coverage and memory that their great sacrifice deserves. That is what everyone should be outraged about.
Well, yeah, we have covered the horrible events 3 years ago, and have done so several times. Over and over again. So I appreciate you also talking about their memories, because it is important. Before you go, you said in an interview this week that you were interested in serving in a Trump administration, potentially as Secretary of State, maybe Secretary of Defense. Have you discussed that with Donald Trump directly?
No, I haven't. You know, it's important for us right now to point out the difference between Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump, what kind of president and commander in chief they would be. And really the leading concern that I have is about this, about the contrast between their positions and their records. And the fact that as we sit here today, President Biden and Kamala Harris have us embroiled in wars in 3 different regions of the world, have us closer to the brink of World War III and nuclear war now than ever before, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. And this should be of concern, not just to Republicans and Democrats, it should be a concern to all Americans, because what's at question is our ability to have a future and to live in a free society where we can be peaceful and prosperous. It's as personal for me as it should be personal for all Americans, because it is our future that's on the line here in this decision that we as voters have to make about who we want our commander-in-chief to be.
Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yeah. Wow. That was a very, very interesting turn of events there. Tulsi Gabbard, sharp as a knife, very, very sharp in her answers here. And this is how you handle the media. And I think Trump having people like Tulsi Gabbard around her is the best possible scenario. People that can handle the media with a masterclass performance here. She didn't fall for the bait. She didn't fall for the pressed up, redundant questions. She, in fact, named facts that they're probably not even covering. But one of the most disturbing facts of all of this in this interview is the fact that Dana Bash and CNN have no idea that the Biden-Harris administration put Tulsi Gabbard on a terror watch list, and they have no idea what that even means. So they're inviting somebody over to their show, and they don't even know what's going on with them and how they're being attacked. You know, so it is pretty crazy. But once again, I just thought that the way she handled this, the Gold Star being a huge story, Gold Star families, I think she handled this correctly, the way somebody is supposed to really handle the media. So shout out to Tulsi Gabbard. Very interesting turn of events this month. Hopefully the debate does happen between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, because you'll see Tulsi's influence in Trump. And you'll see, I think Trump is going to cook her to the point where it's over after that. So make sure to smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you for coming through. You had a big audience watching this video live. If you sent any donations, I want to say thank you very much for that. And I thought that, I thought I'd come on here and do this. So I'm glad that I did. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys on the next one. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications on, because we'll be back for a bigger and better video in just a few moments. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one.